Hey, welcome back to another episode of Collector's Corner. I'm your host, Corey Smith, and I want to thank you for tuning in for another episode. Woo, an episode 30, no less. But anyway, we're back again. I'm going to revisit my VHS collection.
I saw the tape. We kept rewinding it.
Count them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These 5 tapes are specifically 5 of my favorite action-adventure movies.
Bingo! I got action.
We're talking about shootouts. We're talking about car chases. We're talking about all kinds of crazy action, all kinds of adventure in the jungles, in the streets, everywhere. Oh my God, the forests are full of adventure. Let's just jump right into it, get this bad boy going. We're starting off with 1989's One Man Force.
I was kind of like a one-man force, eh?
Look at this cover. We're talking about John Matuzek, a.k.a. Sloth from the Goonies, a.k.a. one badass mother-trucking football player back in the day. Damn, this guy was good, boy. He was mean, and he would scrap with you, terrorizing quarterbacks out on the field. Woo! So One Man Force, 89 action film, plays a badass cop, badass detective. As you can imagine, he becomes a one-man force. He can't be stopped. The tagline, Jake Swan, narcotics detective. 6'8", 280 pounds, 21-inch biceps, 55-inch chest. No one enforces the law like he does. Oh, boy. And he's just a badass cop. I mean, what happens is he's investigating some bullshit. Partner ends up getting killed. They're like, oh man, Jake, we got to take you off the case. You're too close to it. And he's like, screw that. I'm a one-man force, and I'm going to go take these bad guys down. But look, I love these pictures. First, you got the painting on here on the city street with the skyscraper. But then you got still shots from the movie. There he is on a car chase. Outside the car during the chase. Explosions and fire. Yelling and, turn in your badge and your gun. You're loose cannon. We can't trust you on the streets. Just more shit blowing up, guy flying through the air. Lots of stunts, lots of action, lots of cheeseball one-liners. One-man force, badass action adventure. Number 1 down, number 5 down. I don't know, we counting up, we counting down. Does it really matter? Does it really matter? One-man force coming in at number 5. And then next up, boom, we got a movie called Big Bad John.
Big Bad John.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, this is some cheeseball action adventure right here. If you are not familiar, Mr. Jimmy Dean, the sausage guy, that's right. The sausage guy at one time was a singer. And his famous song was called Big John. Big Bad John. All about this miner that saved a bunch of people in a mine collapse, and he became a hero, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. This movie is based on the song. That's right. 80s come along, and they go, you know what, Jimmy Dean, you want to be in an action movie? You want to play a character in your own song? He went, hell yeah. Ned Squeal Like a Pig Beatty from Deliverance and all the other great movies that Ned Beatty's been in over the years. And so what you got here, Big John, from the song, he's this big, giant, beefy dude, mythical sort of guy, ends up having to kill a guy in a bar fight to save his own life, but then he's accused of murder, goes on the run, ends up in this old mining town, becomes a miner trying to hide out for a while. And so what happens is, you got Bo Hopkins. Everybody remembers Bo Hopkins, don't you? Dang. And this other fella right here, they go bounty hunting. They're bounty hunters. They get hired on to chase down Big John. And then Jimmy Dean and his buddy Jack Elam, big crooked-eyed Jack Elam, they go on the hunt as well because they want to find Big John and bring him back safely because, they know him from old days. They're like, oh, John's not a crazed killer, but he's going to end up getting cornered by these fellas, and they're going to shoot him down. And so Jimmy Dean, look at this, grabs the 4-barrel sawed-off shotgun. You know that thing's got to be illegal, but Jimmy Dean's like, I don't give a shit. I'm a former cop. I'll pull this thing out from under the seat. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. And so what you got here is, from one hell of a legend comes one hell of a motion picture. Oh, yeah. So like I said, they're taking the storyline from the original song, and then they're just laying it out into a movie. And then, again, it's just like car chases, some shootouts. So anyway, Big Bad John, excuse me, better put some respect on this title. Anyway, it's cheesy. I love it. Campy. But lots of good action. That's 2 down. We're looking at number 3 now. Number three is gonna be a movie called Opposing Force.
Do you remember when I told you your daddy died in a POW camp?
Oh, whoa, look at that. Opposing Force. We're talking 1986. We're talking Tom Skerritt. Yeah, buddy, dig me some Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt, this chick right here, a bunch of other dudes. They are part of a Air Force survival training. Tom Skerritt, he's an aging Air Force pilot, and he's having to go do his, like, retraining, you know. So they sign up for this survival training weekend. And so what they do is they go to this island somewhere, and this crazy-ass guy right here, he's like, oh, this is my ultimate domain. I am the king of this island. I am the master. And so his ultimate power has gone to his head, and he's just like losing in it. He's an older guy, doesn't want to quit the Army or the Air Force or whatever. And so then he like starts treating it as a real survival situation. He's supposed to be the evil gulag prison camp leader guy, you know, in case they were taken prisoner in an enemy country, and he's the one that's interrogating them, and then they're doing torture, and they're doing all kinds of stuff in this thing, and he goes crazy and just starts really locking them up in torture devices, really starts abusing them, going nuts. But then, yeah, there's a lot of like running through the jungle, machine gun fights, because what happens is, yeah, they realize like, man, he is going to kill us. He is going to torture us to death if we don't escape this for real. Like, this is no longer a training exercise. This has become a real life or death escape from the jungle, the bamboo jail cells that they're like in with the stakes and the rats and the sun and the whole deal. Oh, yeah. But there you go. Great little adventure movie. All right, we're more than halfway through. Oh, we're counting them down again. Number two. Number 2, Born American.
I need some dudes up here who speak American, goddammit.
Oh, it's good to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free. Well, these boys ain't free because they ain't in America. They just born American. And what you got here? Oh, baby, 1986, heart of the Cold War. Oh, you know, wall hasn't even thought about falling down. The Iron Curtain is still strong as ever. And what you got is you got 3 dumbass college kids out on a vacation, like, you know, hey, we just graduated college. Let's go to Finland and go hunting and skiing and all this kind of stuff. And you got Mike Norris, Chuck Norris's kid, and then these other 2 fellas. And so what has happened is they're cruising around. They're like got to rent a car in Finland, and they're driving around the back roads. They're out hunting some, trying to find some moose or elk or whatever the hell they're doing. Cross country skiing, all this kind of stuff. Just having a fun Finnish winter, cold, snowy kind of adventure. I mean, you know, I guess people are up into that. I mean, some people go to the beach, some people go to Finland and go cross-country skiing. I don't know. Anyway, while they're out tootling around, diddly-dee, doodly-doo, bop, bop, bop. Oh, my God. There's the border to the Soviet Union. Jesus Christ, we got off path. We got way off course. We can see the barbed wire and the signs saying, you know, you better back up or you get your ass blown off, all this kind of stuff. But they've been drinking beers, sipping on some whiskey, smoking some weed, all that kind of stuff. They've been having fun out there the last couple days, camping in the snow and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, what would be cooler if we snuck across the border, got a picture, in some little Russian village that we could take back to our buddies back in the States. Show them like, damn right, we went into the Soviet Union. Yeah, boy, we brave as a mug. So, of course, they do. They sneak, they climb through the barbed wire over the little fence. Because, they're way out in the woods. Ain't nobody around. But they're all of a sudden like, boom, ba-da-doo, this is cool. Like, whoa, there is a little village here. Cool, let's go cruise through this little village and see what's up. Well, of course, the second they come rolling up into that village, somebody alerts somebody, calls them on the phone, on the walkie, on the whatnot, and says, dude, there's some sketchy looking Americans cruising around in this, looking at people's windows, all this kind of shit. And then boom, you got the Soviet, whoever, like border guard, somebody comes in, grabs them up, takes them prisoner, and then takes them to a fucking gulag out in the middle of the fucking nowhere, up in northwest Russia somewhere, off close to the Finnish border. And so they get thrown in this gulag. And then, of course, they have to become prisoners. The whole environment is nasty. The food, the sanitation, like the other prisoners, violence, all this kind of stuff. Oh, and it just is, a horrible situation to be in. In fact, and Mike Norris keeps mouthing off, fighting with the guards and stuff. And so they take him down to the basement where they have this underground fighting club, and we're talking fight to the death. And so he becomes this crazy fighter, loses his mind. He's going crazy down there, killing other prisoners, all this stuff. These two dudes are like, we got to get him out of here. Let's escape. So they finally bust out, kill a couple guards, get some machine guns, all that stuff. And then they got to get their way back to the Finnish border before they get blown to bits. So, yeah, Born American, again, just... cool sort of Cold War Soviet action adventure. There they are, sitting in the gulag, cold as shit, eating like gruel or eating all kinds of slop out of the thing there, and arrested by the soldiers. There's the big fight club and shit. So we're talking about Born American, and that is that. We have got one left. Man, I'm glad you guys tuned in to some action adventure. Yes. The last one we got is a great underrated unknown sort of movie called War Party.
Good heavens, woman, this is war, not a garden party.
So yeah, baby, War Party. This was some good stuff right here. We are talking about 1988, starring Kevin Dillon, Belly Worth, and they really it is straight up mountain forest adventure. Because what happens is you've got this little small town in Montana where this famous battle took place 100 years earlier between the U.S. cavalry and a Native American tribe that was living there at the time, or still has descendants of living there. And a bunch of Indians were slaughtered by the army, and there was a big to-do, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, it's 100 years later. It's for the centennial. They're going to do a party. They're going to do a festival in the town, and they're going to recreate this whole battle and whatnot. And, so then you've got Kevin Dillon, Billy Worth, and another fella. They're just some early 20s sort of dudes just tooling around town, doing their thing, working their job, drinking their beer, partying and whatnot. And but they get into it with some locals, some local white dudes in the town, and they have their big fight and everything's, there's a lot of tension and everything. Fast forward to the next weekend, the fair's going, the festival's going, the reenactment's going. A couple of those drunk-ass white dudes at the bar that got in the fight a few days earlier, they decide to load their 30-30s and load their old Colt 45s with real ammo. Boom, boom, boom! They end up killing a guy, and then there's a big actual real gunfight for a second. And Kevin Dillon and this other dude and the other dude that I can't remember his name, they all, Tim Sampson, they all go up into the woods. They escape up into the mountains of Montana. And they've got to live up there and survive, like Red Dawn style, because you've got old school posse. The police posse is on their tail. They got like a bounty hunter, tracker, all this kind of stuff. A century ago, the cavalry massacred Indians at the Battle of Milk River. Now the Indians are ready to fight back. So there you go, young Kevin Dillon. So again, just running around the woods, trying to fight their way to freedom, prove their innocence, prove that they weren't involved for real in this, sort of tragedy that happened at the reenactment at the festival, all this kind of stuff. And then it just becomes a game of cat and mouse through the woods, through the forest, fighting, surviving, Rambo style. There you go, War Party, great, underrated, action adventure. Just went through 5 of them. I'm glad you joined me again. I'll be back next week with some more sweet-ass collectibles, and I hope you're here to check it out. But until then, we are going to catch you out the flip side.